Hey guys, welcome back. This is Real Estate Uncensored. We got an amazing show. Our other co-host could not make it today because it is a Friday. And guess what? You do fun things on Friday. Brian and I, aka Captain Link Juice, we're going to be talking about all kinds of fun things. He's an author, a dad, an incredible human being. We're going to tackle a lot of different issues that are going on in the market. But before we do that, here is your countdown. Okay, the one thing I gotta say, Brian, first off, dude, you're rocking a good beer game. I mean, I love the beard. Nicely done, man. You look great.
Thank you. Fun fact about this beard: I used to trim it down right here, and I didn't know that you weren't supposed to do that. So I'm going to give a shout out to the Evil Bald Ninja for someone finally telling me, saying, "Hey, stop doing that and just let it fully grow in." So since I've done that, I feel really a lot more aggressive. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you're taking advice from a bald man. So let's talk a little. Introduce yourself first off. Kind of let everybody know who you are, where you're from, what you do, the whole nine yards.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, the digital architect and myself, the Captain Link Juice. There's a lot to unravel there, but I'll just get right into it. I mean, I am a real estate agent. I focus on the marketing space a lot. So Gene and I run business development for the community mortgage team. It's kind of a weird story how I got into real estate. I focused on the marketing piece and was able to generate a lot of leads for myself, just focusing on the social spaces. And then over the evolution of the last 3 years, which has been kind of crazy, I coach a lot. I don't want to say coach. I don't coach realtors, but I help them with their social media marketing. We partner with them. I work with the community mortgage team and all the loan officers there to help them leverage their social sphere to grow their business. And in the process of doing all of that, I started my own real estate team. And that really has taken off over the last year and a half. That was an unintended consequence, as Gene and I say a lot. I wasn't really trying to become a realtor. And in the process of coaching realtors, my background's in behavioral health and counseling, family counseling. So I'm always taking a behavioral approach to everything we do and kind of analyzing what behaviors work, what don't, and then repeat the ones that do. That's kind of how the book came about, the Beyond Existing, How to Attack Your Potential in Business, Family, and Personal Health. It's something potential is something I take very serious. And so when someone calls me for help or, reaches out to me, I have this policy where I don't babysit adults. I made it a lifelong goal of mine to not have to babysit adults. I consider myself a 105 guy. So if you give me 100%, I'm going to give you 105. If you give me 50%, I'll give you 55. And if you don't call me, I'm not calling you. That's kind of just how it works with me. And the people that do reach out, we make some moves together, and it's a lot of fun. So I always enjoy being on the show, talking to you guys. And I know the audience has reached out to me a bunch after I was on the last show. So I'm happy to help anybody move the needle in those three areas.
That's awesome. Let's talk about your book a little bit. And give me 3 takeaways from your book that could be useful in someone's business today.
Yeah. Well, first I want to start with how the book was written. I'm not a guy that's going to sit down and read a book from front to back. So I didn't write a book where you have to read it front to back. You can get in, grab a nugget, and get out and go implement it. First thing, everybody loves the light and heavy, the chapter on light and heavy. Light is right and run from the heavy. So whether that's a task, a person, a relationship, if you have anything heavy, you just want to cut away from it and focus on doing the things that come easy to you. A simple one for me to kind of describe the realtors is transaction coordinating. It's usually two different mentalities. One mentality is sales, like a hunter, and then the other one is like kind of the prepper and getting it to the dinner table. I'm more of a hunter. I don't like the cooking piece of it. I'm not a paperwork guy, so I find someone that enjoys that, and I bring them in and make sure I have a transaction coordinator on every deal.
Yep.
And that's kind of the focus there. And then again, another chapter I really like is the other side of suck, which is like we all have to do things in the course of a day that suck. And I think it, like going to the gym, or if anyone's ever competed in anything like endurance wise, it's literally who can stay in that shitty space the longest is going to win, and do the uncomfortable stuff and stay there till it kind of you get good at it. And this real estate game, if you just sit back and wait for the business to come to you, you're going to have a rough go at it. So.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Sorry for everyone who's listening to me. I have to shift around. I have to plug my computer in because it is dying on me faster than a rock sinks through water. But I understand that. And in regards to having a transaction, a TC, I have one in mind. Her name is Eileen, and I haven't written a contract in like probably 10 plus years. She writes all my contracts. She negotiates, for me. I come in when the deal goes sour, if it goes sour. Otherwise, she's talking to everybody, and it takes such a huge amount of weight off my chest. It is unbelievable. And if you guys aren't looking at us, both of us have beards that are gray, and that's from the stress of the game that we play in real estate. So I would recommend trying to not look like us, even though we are sexy human beings.
If I'm being honest, I think I'm getting sexier with age, as are you. So it's not such a bad thing if you're us, but we earn these gray hairs for sure.
I always joke with people, and I say that they're like, why don't you just dye your beard and just go back to brown? And I'm like, no, man, I earn these white hairs. And I always tell people that I dip my chin in knowledge, and I came out with gray hairs. So let's dive into your book. Let's dive into some of the stuff that you're doing and really go deep on that. Where would you like to start?
Well, really, it's something where you got to be ready to do the work. This isn't something where I'm like, I'm not a rah-rah guy. I'm not going to sit up here and try to motivate you to take action. But if you're at a place where you're going, all right, I need something, like even it's mostly the entrepreneur, the person that doesn't have someone telling them what to do. Like if you're in your head every night going, I know I could do a little better. You know what? I should have worked out today. I shouldn't have ate like shit. Like that's me. Like I'm always constantly evaluating. So this book wasn't written of like me telling you how awesome I am and how I do all these things perfect. It's me going, these are the 3 areas that are super important to me. These are the exercises that I do, and each chapter has an exercise that I do every day to help kind of make sure that I'm touching all 3 of those areas every day to make sure I'm moving the needle. And it's almost like the book, The Compound Effect. It's all, if you just stack good behaviors every day, you go to the gym every day. If you go to the gym for a month straight, like you might see a little bit, but like we all know if you stack a whole year, you're like, that's when you see the results. So, social media, marketing, real estate, business development, relationships, it's all just a compounding, stacking good behaviors that you net like, the benefit. But, the book is really designed to just have people who hit that entrepreneurial wall, and you're going, all right, I need something to get me going. Whether it's I need to get back to the gym, I need to stop drinking, I need to do like whatever it is. There's something in the book where you can go, boom, grab a little inspiration, implement something that week, and it should help you move the needle a little bit on that goal for sure.
So when it comes to stacking, let's walk that down a little bit down the path. Let's say I'm a brand new agent and I'm hearing your voice and I'm like, oh my God, this guy sounds amazing. I want to learn how to stack. I want to learn how to build my business. Where would you begin with that? And how would you build the stacks? Would it be, where would you start?
So I know exactly where I'd start. So if I'm a new agent and let's say I'm in Coopersburg, Pennsylvania, whatever, I am going to start a Facebook page called Best of Coopersburg, and I'm going to go out and spotlight every small business owner in the community. So this is why they call me Captain Link Juice. So on social media, there's a term link juice, which is to connect your networks and drive everything back to your main page. But in the physical sense of link juice, I need people to know who I am, but I'm going to come from a place where I'm going to help others. So a new agent wants to grow their business, and I'm telling them to go help other businesses grow their business. And they're like, why the hell would I do that? Well, guess what those businesses have? Networks of people that know them, like them, trust them. And oh, yeah, what do you do? Now you're in their wheelhouse because you made a deposit in their world. And some of my first deals when I got into real estate were from at the one bar West End, the owners MJ and Jeff. I went, spotlighted them. 4 months later, I'm under contract on a $500,000 deal in the Poconos because I went in there and took the time to get to know them and spotlight them. And then it led to business. Now, guess who they refer every time they need somebody for real estate? They're referring me because I took the time to take my community, my network, and drive them to their network. And it's not difficult to do. You just need a camera, a little bit of a personality. If you don't have either of those, you're probably not going to do well in real estate anyway. But yeah, that's it. And honestly, the season agent as well. I mean, it's there. That's a great strategy is to dominate your local town and get to know all the players in the town. And it just makes that piece of business so much easier. And if you're not getting business, I get more business. I put my phone aside, but I get more business from Facebook Messenger probably than anybody I know because of that. Focusing on that area, and it's a set it and forget it. Like it's not a huge touch point at this point. My assistant Brinley will do a post on our page like, hey, who should we spotlight? Then she'll call, check whose social sphere has the most social impact of these businesses, and then we'll go and spotlight those businesses. And it's to the point now where my inbox is actually people requesting to be on the page. And it just makes it super simple. It's not hard. You just like anything else. It's like going to the gym. You just have to get the routine, get the momentum, schedule it, show up, and then once you have the momentum, it just goes.
Yeah, it really does. And you had a great point on that. Years ago, before COVID and everything else, I was routinely at the gym at 5:30 in the morning, and I would do a 15-minute warm up and then go to my class at 6. And everyone's like, oh my God, why do you show up, so often? And I'm like, it's part of my routine. Like, this is just what I do. Then I go home, shower, get some breakfast, get dressed, go to work. Then COVID hit and everything hit the fan, and you know what that means.
Yep.
But the thing is that I've found a different routine now. And this is something that when you guys are hearing my voice right at this moment, your routine doesn't have to be the same. It can adapt to your surroundings. So if you have to move, or if you change careers, or if you have different goals, whatever it is, still have goals, but keep a routine that's going to get you to where you want to be. Like I take Fuzzbutt, who is currently passed out on the couch right over there. I take him to the dog park at least 1 to 2 times a day, and another walk. People know us around the neighborhood. They come up to us, they remember us. I sometimes don't remember them, which is kind of a problem. But you know what the thing is that I've gotten, gotten's not a word. I've got a lot of large opportunities to do business with folks purely talking about dog poop, dog food, and the different balls that everybody chases and the frisbees. It is no joke. Find what your routine's going to be, and it doesn't have to be fancy pantsy. It can be whatever you want it to be. Brian, have you found that to be true in your life, or am I completely off my rocker?
No, I think you're talking niches, right? So like
Yes.
100%. I mean, I play disc golf. A lot of people, I do more business in
Disc golf.
the disc golf community. Like seriously, like I think he's number 2 right now because he just dropped. The number 2 disc golfer in the state of Pennsylvania, Chris Villa. He's a home inspector. Like him and I, all the disc golf community uses us. I close at least one deal a month from the disc golf community. But here's like, I'm sponsoring events. I'm giving back. Like I'd be on if I'm in your area, I'd be on all the dog pages where people are talking about different stuff. I maybe even do a video spotlighting some of the new, oh
my God, Brian, why did you let him in?
Speaking of dogs.
God,
where my dogs at?
Yo, uncomfortable conversations with Greg McDaniel. I just pull in and I'm like, he's talking about dog poop in the park again. Like, all right, let me get on. Your beard is looking fantastic, though.
Well, you cut Brian off. He was in the middle of talking about disc golf. Okay,
I thought you were gonna. I'm in for disc golf. He'll tell you. I've got the bug.
Yeah, Gene and I have been playing, and we actually have a trip. We got to go down to Florida in October?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to take the RV down and stop and play all down 95, stop at a couple different courses. So if there are any realtors that play and are listening in that corridor, let us know because we'll stop and play around with you. But yeah, that's a niche, right? So the dog park is a niche. Disc golf is a niche. If you're into horseback riding and farms, that's a niche. Go. And here's the thing, like, I don't mean go into those niches and be like, I'm a realtor, I'm here to help. Here's some selfies of me at the closing table. No, go in and see how you can help build authentic relationships and give back to that community. Because once they know you, like you, trust you, then they'll give a shit what you do. But don't lead in there with what you do. Realtors love to do that. I know Gene likes this when I always say, like, you've got good stuff, then I'm a realtor. If you start with realtor, they'll never get to the good stuff because they're going to tune out and no one cares. Like, and I say that all the time. No one cares you're a realtor until they need a realtor. So on your social spaces, post about your dog, post about your disc golf round, post about your friends, post about your family. And then, I can also help you if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, or if you have any questions about this. It's much easier to manage your social spaces that way.
I did a post the other day. I was with Jake Wolf about 4+ months ago, give or take, up in Reno. Mm-hmm. And dude, his son, he calls him Junior, has this big ass lizard, and I just put the lizard on my chest, and I just let it sit there. I took a photo. I'm like, I can't believe this is sitting here. The damn thing got over. I mean, it's a big number for me, but whatever for everybody else. But I got like 400 or 500, views and like tens of comments about the lizard. Right. And even my girlfriend, she's like, "You bought a lizard?" I'm like, "No, I didn't buy a lizard. I just took a photo with a lizard." But it's just being relatable and having fun. Because then people from high school that I haven't talked to in 20+ years, they hit me up all the time going like, "Are you still doing real estate? Like, what's going on in the market? Like, how's this going? Like, where did you get the lizard? What's going on with your dog?" So on and so forth. I mean, if I saw a picture of Gene, I'd be like, "Gene, I haven't seen you in 20 years. How'd you get so bald? I mean, what happened? I mean, did you get cancer?"
Women.
He's like, "No,
Women.
I'm just handsome."
Did you just wish cancer on me, by the way?
No, I said
appreciate
you
that.
didn't get cancer.
Thanks.
It was the opposite.
Two things.
I know
you do?
I think I do.
Go ahead. No, you don't. There's no way, but give it a shot. Let's see if you can read my mind. Go ahead.
I think you're going to comment on the guitar in the background.
No, I was going to comment on petting Greg's lizard. That's the first thing. That's the first thing. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you too is that Brian said we're going to be, I want to make sure we're clear because my wife heard this differently, but we are going to be on the East Coast slinging discs. Okay. So my wife was like, "Excuse me?" And I was like, "We're going to be playing disc golf." So, I want to make sure that we're clear that when this is over, if you come to see us at a course down there, that's what we're doing. So
it's not slinging the other thing, but it's slinging a Frisbee.
Get your head out of the gutter. Get your head out.
Are we stopping in Tennessee? I know that accent. Get your head out the gutter, Gene.
All right, so Gene, let's get you into this mix a little bit. You know that Brian's coming out with a book.
Wait, that one? I do know.
You have it,
Gregors. Let me tell you something. Not only do I have it, I don't know if you can see this. I wrote a review.
Oh my
he's
gosh,
in
he
it.
did.
I'm in the book multiple times. I'm not as many times as I should be, if I'm being honest, but yeah, I'm in the book. So listen, I will tell you, actually, here's what I'm going to tell you. Ready for this?
Do it.
Go.
I'm going to read you my review. This is the review.
Okay.
Having worked alongside Brian for some time, I can attest that the concepts in Beyond Existing stem from his day-to-day interactions with clients, family, and friends. As a result of putting his lessons and example into practice, I've changed the way I do business and handle adversity. Try this for yourself and discover how much lighter your days are when you know how to handle, when you know how to choose who, what, where, and when to interact. And it's simple. When we got into this space, he was like, yo, I would see him doing these mental gymnastics. So I would go like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. And he would stop for a second. I'm usually a shotgun, right? Like stuff comes out of my mouth and I'm like, shit, I should have kept some of that in there. Brian is fairly poignant and he thinks about it. So I'm like, what is all this thinking you're doing? I don't get this stuff. And he's like, I'm just trying to see if it's heavy and light to me. And I'm like, explain that to me. What does that mean? And he goes, I basically just rule my day for the most part by heavy and light. If you ask me a question or for me to do something or me to take on a task, I think about if it's something that I want to do, if it's heavy to me. And if it is, I'll say no and or assign it to somebody else that it's light to. Or if it's light, I do it all day, because if we're doing shit in our world, whether it's family, business, friendship, whatever, and health that's light to us, there's more passion and emotion into it because you enjoy doing it, right? So I just started to really just go, and this, honestly, I was actually talking to somebody today at the Starbucks I was stuck at. That's why I came late. And I go, I adopted this and it was perfect timing because during COVID, we were forced to actually start saying no to certain things, right? And sometimes it's difficult for us to say no to things that you inherently want to say yes to, unless you employ this little equation that he gave me, which was, is it heavy for me or is it light? And now I'm able to weed out the heavy things and say no for multiple reasons. It's just not in my wheelhouse. It's not in my space. I don't want to do it. I hate doing it. And I'm not going to do it effectively. So why not find somebody, like in our world, Brian will talk about his transaction coordinator. Brian hasn't done a transaction coordination in his entire goddamn life. But he's a real estate agent. So how does that work? Well, he takes that heavy stuff. He doesn't want to do it. He wants to do the sales in the front end and the people part of the business. And he hands that off to Kelly. And Kelly does the numbers and the contract signing and making sure and following up and buttoning up all these things for Brian, because that's light to Kelly, right? Kelly doesn't want to go out and sell it. That's what Brian does. So it's just one of these little things. And, I have these arguments with people. That doesn't work for everything. And I'm like, dude, sometimes being heavy for me is driving my kids around for free. That's heavy. Sometimes, because I could be doing other things that are effective, right? There's things in life paying taxes to me is heavy. There's certain things that are going to be heavy that you got to fight through. But when you have the choice between the two, to me, it's been a really good exercise in how's this going to play out down the road. And I can sort of predict that based off of how I feel in the moment when I'm thinking about the task. And why not just eradicate it if it sucks? So I've employed it, and it works in a lot of cases, and it makes you really think about the things you're doing on a day-to-day basis. So Brian will tell you, we become fast friends. We're very tight, and that's because of things like this. We disc golf together. We work businesses together. We do all these things together. I'll promote the shit out of this for him because it's something that you should read, and that's it. You should read it and see if you're going to apply some of it. So that's my spiel on it. How about that?
All right. So give me your number one takeaway out of the book. People can put in their business.
Just what I told you. Just what I told you. It's just reevaluating what you're doing on a regular basis and trying to apply that to it. Like, for example, I'm going to dinner tonight with a friend of mine, right? And he's a client, but a longtime friend. I'm going with Pat from Brian, from Pat Mac. And he calls me and he's like, yo, I need to get out. I've had a terrible couple of weeks and I'm just going to drink a lot. You want to come? And I was like, yes. Do I want to come? We're going to eat charcuterie plates. We're probably going to eat steaks. I'm going to have some great glasses of wine. I get to hang with one of my best friends. Light. I go, I guess light. Now, the heavy part was me getting permission. So I went to the wife and I go, and sort of like Brian, I could go, hey, I'm going to run up and down the East Coast and do a lot of cocaine and do all these crazy things. And she'll go, with who? And I'll go, Brian. And she'll go, okay. Right? Anybody else? It's like, no, you're not. And by the way, for the record, I don't do cocaine. I know sometimes my energy.
It's a joke. I know.
It was. But I mean, and Pat's one of those guys I can get away with stuff. She loves Pat. She knows Pat. So I just go to her and I go, good if I go out with Pat on Friday night? And she's like, yeah, go ahead, do your thing. So it's just, to me, that's the light piece of it. If Pat would have called me and been like, look, I need you to come out on Friday night. We're going to do a 14K jog. Then we're going to go clean my basement. I'm like, that shit's heavy, bro. No, I'm out. I can't do it that night. I'm going to be sick. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So to me, it's just a real simple, like, do I want to do it or not? Is it heavy? Is it something I can excel at? Is it something that I will enjoy doing? And if the answer is yes, I do. And if not, no.
And the one thing, Gene, that I talk about in the book as well is deposits and withdrawals. So if someone goes, well, how do I get that to where my wife lets me, go out? Well, there's in the book is literally strategies on how to make deposits in your wife's world in order to make those withdrawals when you need them. Today, actually, I haven't seen my wife since Sunday. I'm in Atlantic City right now. I've been with the kids. So I took the kids Sunday night, left, went to my mountain house until Wednesday, and then left and came to the condo in AC till today. My wife just showed up. But that was a deposit I wanted to make in her world, giving her the whole week home by herself, no kids. Like, I've been stressed to the nines this whole week because it's actually a lot harder than I thought.
Hopefully she's not watching, bro.
I think she just giggled and just knows. I think she just knows.
She's like, see, I told you.
She could tell. I was like, I think I'm gonna drink tonight. I haven't drank in like 85 days. And she's like, just as a laugh. And
Dude,
I'm like,
you're gonna have 2 Coors Lights and be wasted.
Oh yeah, dude, I'd totally be totally wasted if I had a couple of beers right now. But the point being, like, you make those deposits and then you can ask for the withdrawal. So, if you were running wild all week and work until 8 o'clock, it'd be a lot harder to ask for that withdrawal of, can I head out Friday night, or can we go for a week? To, like, we give them enough time. We make some deposits going into that. So when we ask for something, we're not overdrawn. Same thing, in the marketplace, or for instance, I was telling you about like the best of strategy with the local businesses. You're going there making a deposit into their world. You're depositing, a credit all over your town. So that when you ask for something, you're not overdrawing. No one's going to feel like, oh, that was that person does is ask. You're leading with giving, and it just makes receiving that much easier. So that premise is, just as important, that you're focusing on making deposits in the people's life around you that you care about, so that when you need something, they're there for you.
Well, yeah, it's a give and take. And, if you go from my perspective, when you give more than you receive, then you get more than you have requested.
100%.
Always. Yep. That's really good the way you said that. That should be a clip.
And
it should be a clip.
Yep.
Damn it, Gene, you better clip that out. Okay.
I will. You got it. Yes, sir.
2750.
2745. Okay, got it.
And there is a law in the universe that says as soon as you start trying to figure out what's in it for you, you block from receiving, right? So if you're like, oh, I'm going to go do all this good stuff, and then you're sitting there trying to measure how it's going to come back to you, it's really not the right vibration to be doing good stuff out there. So and again, that takes time to kind of, if it's not who you are, it's definitely going to take more time. If it is who you are, you just go out there. And that's why I said, what would you tell a new realtor to do? I would go help other businesses grow their business.
Okay, let's actually answer that question. Brian, I want you to give me a very solid clip on exactly what you would tell a new agent to go out and do in 5 seconds.
5 seconds. So, one, identify all your personal spheres of influence and get them into an email campaign. And I use BombBomb, and I would drip on them in BombBomb. On Mondays, I would educate them, and on Thursdays, I would ask something of them. And then I would go identify 20 local businesses and start a Facebook page called Best of Insert Your Town. Do a little bit of an ad spend to try to get the community behind this Best of page. And I would go out either with my phone, or if you're fortunate enough to have a friend that can come video you, and spotlight the local businesses in your community. And again, you're not talking real estate at all. You're just going there, shooting a video saying, hey, this is the best auto shop in the town. This is the best car dealership. This is the best salon, whatever, barbershop. You go out and you start building all those connections and relationships with other entrepreneurs in the community that understand what it's like to start at zero every month and what it's like to build a business. And they're going to go, hey, why are you doing this? Why, I know you're a local realtor. Why are you spotlighting my business? Well, I'm hoping I can drive all my network to you and help your business grow. And in return, if someone in your network's looking to buy, sell, or invest, I just hope you share my information with them. And if I could help them, great. If not, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to help small businesses thrive on the other side of COVID and really just try to connect our networks together to put us all in a better place because we met each other. And that's kind of my mantra, is just try to put people in a better place because they met you. And if you can do that over and over and over, you kind of just get taken care of. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Gene, give me your advice. You're on mute. You're on mute.
He just his best advice, and it was on mute.
No, I know.
And the show's over.
And I don't remember what I said. I can't even bring it back. No, I was doing that because I was choking 5 minutes ago, and I didn't want to step on his toes while I was doing it. But there's a lot of things, Greg. If you go back and look at the last 6 years of me on this podcast, there's going to be some things, right? But I hope there's probably 2 or 3 things that I dropped on this podcast that are worth listening to in the last 6 years or so. I would say. So here's the thing. What's funny about us is if you get into our space these days, you don't get Brian without Gene. And you don't get Gene without Brian. Like, we roll pretty thick together, and we are always together, right? Because we play really well off each other, especially when it comes to like helping people. We both come from the same space, right? Give, and you said it's a give and take. I almost look at it, it's like a give and thank you. It's like we're giving. At some point, I don't have to ask for anything back. It just falls on my lap, and it's my responsibility to make sure that person knows I'm grateful that they thought of me, right? So I just think that you lead with listening. We talked about this before too.
Mm-hmm.
Lead with listening. Don't sell. Like my big thing is, and you know this about me, this doesn't work for every industry. I get it. I don't ever sell my services on this podcast. I don't sell my services in any circles. I don't talk to people about my business unless they follow me long enough where they come to me and they go, I know you do 1, 2, or 3 things. Is there any way you can help me with any of these? And the answer is always 1,000,000% yes. If somewhere down the road that becomes a monetary exchange relationship, I'm thankful for that. But I'm not the guy that's hitting you up for your book. I won't ask you for your credit card. I'm buying dinner in most cases. I don't even ask for dinner. So I think if you just continue to connect people with the expectation of nothing in return, you're going to get a lot of stuff in return. And I just think it just works. The power of the universe works in that way. Listen, I've been successful in everything I've done because of this show. People call me and say, I love what you give out on the show. Why don't you ever sell anything at the end? And I go, that's not why I'm there. I'm not there to sell. It always happens. There are always people that call and say, hey, I want to use your services, and that's cool. But I like giving. And Brian will tell you this. Brian, I'm going to probably end up biting my tongue because you're going to get this wrong or you're going to make fun of me. But if there was no income problems, if I didn't need to make money, what's the one thing I would travel the world and do?
Wear earrings.
You say nothing? He said nothing.
No, it would definitely be, he'd have a football helmet and a tutu on. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what he'd be doing with.
That's a scary sight. The answer,
you'd definitely be public speaking. You get him on stage and have him just speak and motivate and educate people on how to just put themselves in a better spot. That would be what he'd be doing. If he could just travel the country in the RV and get out. We talk about a rock star moment, stage a set, walk up, grab the mic, let him do his thing, drop, go out, have some drinks with people. That's what he's doing.
1,000,000%. I actually have a call today with a realtor out of Colorado that I haven't spoken to in a couple months. And she texted me and said, I need your help. Can you jump on one of our private things and do a talk about something, like marketing wise? And I said, for you, all day, every day, just tell me what you want. And she goes, what do you want to do? I go, tell me what the need is for right now. Like you want to talk about Bitcoin? I'll give me 2 weeks. I'll figure it out and I'll talk to you about it. And she was like, can you do YouTube? And I was like, yeah, I can.
Yeah.
So you just tell me, what do you need? What do you need? You want to talk? I remember that Superpower Coffee Hour I started, Greg?
Yeah.
That was solely for you to get on there and tell me what you need. What do you need? It didn't have to be related to anything. I need help with my kids. I don't know how to deal with this 6-year-old. I'm having a hard time because I feel like I'm unloved in my house and I just want to scream. All right, I'll put my mute on. Scream. Go. Do it. Let me help you get that out. Whatever it is that you need, that's what I'm here for. And if I can help you, great. So yeah, he's right. 1,000,000% right. I would be talking to colleges I'd be out speaking at events. And then people go, why is this guy here? It's a plumbers association. What the hell does he know about plumbing? Right? Like I would turn it into something. That's what I want to do.
All right. I think that's fantastic.
And it wouldn't be just talking shit, by the way.
Damn, you took that.
Of course you're going to just be talking shit. That's what you do. Guys, I have 16% on my computer. This thing is going to die. But I wanted to just thank both of you for coming on, being just really cool dudes, talking about real shit. And we're all rocking some really awesome beards. So, I mean, that's just a brotherhood right there.
Your beard's looking pretty good today. I'm not going to lie to you. It looks better than it did last week. Like you let it grow out a little bit. Looks good.
Yeah, that pointy thing.
That's a sideways, compliment.
It was not nothing sideways about it. I know you always think I'm poking at you, but that was a compliment.
You guys look though. It's kind of like where you're gray, Greg. Gene's dark, and where Gene's
it's
dark,
totally true.
It's opposite. Yeah.
So for everyone who's listening and is not watching, I below my mouth is where I'm gray, and then Gene around his mouth is all gray, and then LinkedIn. AKA Brian.
Salt and pepper.
So you're just about all coverage, salt and pepper.
Yeah, he's got a good spread on that. All right, good
balance.
Good
beard is a balanced attack. Gene's a little one-dimensional with his gray.
He looks like an evil criminal. Like just give him like a little
cartoon,
hat.
like a cartoon criminal.
Exactly. Yeah. And then give him a cane, and there we go. Now we got a criminal. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen,
so he wished cancer on me, and then I'm crippled. Thanks for that.
I said criminal, not crippled.
You said a cane. Give me a cane.
Because it's a knife and a gun. I mean, it's your weapon. I mean, that's how you wrangle people. I mean,
that needs more pimp, less crippled.
Okay. I'll take that. Okay. Fine.
Well, you are the evil bold ninja. So let's put it that way.
Yes.
All right, guys, my computer's literally gonna die. I got 12%. Brian, color on the bow for the show.
Color on the bow for the show is if you find yourself in a position where you're kind of stuck, you need that next spark to get you motivated and get you to the next level, and where you're at is heavy, I promise you it doesn't get lighter. So you're gonna have to pull the Band-Aid off, get yourself into a space, whether that's reaching out to Greg and talking about switching companies to something that's a little bit lighter with a little more resources, or if it's about, ending a relationship that's just holding you back, you have to close that door in order to get the energy to go through the next one, where I promise you it's a lot lighter. And like I said, the book will help with that. Again, I suck at self-promotion, but if you it's a good nuggets are in there to help you kind of push that to the next level. And no one's going to knock on your door and hand you anything. So you got to get out there and get it.
Yeah, I hear you 100%. All right, give me one color to put on the bow for the show. Blue. I love blue. Gene loves blue balls. Gene, what's your color for the
loves or has? Loves or has. Well, I'm going to go with his. So let's talk about this real quick. Are we selling the book?
Well, we got 9% left.
All right, listen real quick. Let me do it then. Don't just ignore the visuals, because we're still building this out and setting it up. Go to beyondexistingbook.com, click on the buy the book now, and it'll take you right to the Amazon link. Get it Prime delivered to your house. If you're close to me, I could probably get it signed for you. We can do that. Go buy the book off the thing. Brian said blue. The color of the book is blue and green. That's where we're at today. So I'll go green, Gregors.
Nice.
Okay.
So we have a blue and a green bow on this show. Ladies and gentlemen, God, I cannot tell you how much we appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with us. Follow Brian, follow Gene, follow me. If we can bring any more value to your life, the three of us will show up and we will give you whatever we can, resources, access to the book that Brian has written. Gene is doing incredible content. So, God, I love you guys. Anyways, reach out to me at 925-915-1978. That is my cell phone. I respond to text messages and or calls. So just reach out. If I can help, let's do this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Brian, Gene, you guys are legends in my mind. Go follow there. Are you guys still doing your podcast, by the way?
Yeah, we still haven't dropped an episode yet, but on the new platform. But yes.
Okay, so pitch that real quick.
Just buy the book and stay in touch with us, because when you buy the book, we'll sign up, and once you sign up, we'll let you know when the next podcast is released. Or go to runation.com. And sign up there.
Yeah, go to runation.com, guys. You're going to get a lot of great content there from a lot of creators. We're building this out. We're in the growth pattern right now, but we want to become the YouTube of real estate information. So, guys and gals, have a blessed and powerful day. Thank you for your time. Until next time, peace out, ninjas. We gone.